Good afternoon and welcome to a brand new episode of American Education and Policy. This is Dr. Leah Lester here, and I'm so excited to have you to join us today. Today, our discussion will address educational policies for digital technology and AI in education. This is a very exciting topic, so let's get started. Technology has fundamentally changed our lives in our classrooms, offices, and personal lives. I remember when principals had to plead with teachers to integrate technology into their instruction. Integrating the internet through research or by using various technology websites was evidence that the teacher is using 21st century skills. Many sites were originally blocked, which could have made our instruction more exciting, including sites like YouTube, which had many documentaries and instructional videos to enhance our instruction. However, leaders had to apply wisdom to determine which sites are permissive and safe in our schools and in our districts. Technology continues to evolve with artificial intelligence tools such as ChatGPT and Gemini now operational in our schools. Technology can serve us well, but its abuse can harm our schools and American society more than it benefits. When I am online and need to determine whether a post is authentic or AI generated, I encounter a problem. That is what I wish to discuss in today's post. Good and bad uses of technology and safeguards that must be enforced to maintain the authenticity and legitimacy of technology in education. First, I wish to talk about some of the good use of technology or AI in education. We have gone from walking to writing, from reading to reading aloud programs, from cooking at home to food delivery, from hand washing to dishwashers, and from hand wash clothing to washing machines. I am not hating on technology. Certainly, it has made our lives easier and more simplified. I am reminded, however, of my childhood education where we learned printing and cursive handwriting. Using a typewriter was the only form of formal writing as we do today with a computer. The fear of losing the ability to write legibly resulting from using a typewriter was not really a concern of educators. However, I have observed students with poor handwriting, partly because they often use computers and have not had to polish the handwriting as we did in our classrooms as when I was a child. The comparison I have in mind is between a handmade garment and a machine made garment. While one is made conveniently with a machine, the other is made by hand and considered of high value, a unique artisan value, and viewed as ethically produced as opposed to mass produced. How often have we received handwritten letters today? And when we do receive them, I think we are shocked often, and we are feeling as if we have something very personal. So the difference of handwriting and writing with a laptop or computer does have its comparisons, and we can more appreciate that one that has been written by hand. Now we have programs that are valued, and I even today I use them. Programs like Grammarly and artificial intelligence tools to help to with increase engagement with an assignment and to correct our grammar. Those types of things are helpful and useful. But I would say this is the good part of education of and technology and AI in education using these types of programs. There are bad uses of technology in AI in education. Uh, One is students' desire to avoid homework and to use technology instead of doing the work themselves. And this has been a problem not only among college students, but also among secondary students. A student from Switzerland found that the most highly or the most likely individuals who engage in digitally supported dishonesty once or twice a week are non higher education males who wanted to avoid doing their homework. The study found that digitally supported homework avoidance was a negative predictor for student test scores. So, when technology begins to take the place of our students doing the work, and technology does the work instead, then obviously our students will miss out on polishing and practicing the types of skills and problem solving and researching and acquisition types of skills needed to be practiced. As we see our students becoming increasingly dependent on technology, they do not recognize, and as we know, that the risk of losing cognitive stamina is very much alive. So it is our responsibility to preserve our own society and to guard the soul of our nation as we as educators, we're here to preserve. We are the preservers. The love of money is in, and it is the root of all evil. The love of it, all kinds of evil. Some are willing to sacrifice the soul of the nation so that they can fulfill their lusts. We can relinquish the guards for the country, or we can uphold them. We know that education affects everyone, from children to adults. Therefore, we must guard our education so that it does not diminish or compromise the quality of our nation and education in our nation. And according to Al Burns and Hunter, students and teachers develop a higher rhetorical consciousness through artificial intelligence. Bird et al. Argue that before we integrate AI into our classroom, we need to examine the policy document to ensure that students use it as a tool, given the evolving nature of technology. The interrogation demonstrates the necessity or the necessary literacies for writing in the context of evolving technology. Although we don't always think this way, but while we are benefiting from using AI, we need to realize that AI is devaluing our human skills such as creative thinking and decision making. The risk of generative AI lies in human reliance on it, which can lead to cell atrophy or shrinkage from disuse, as with aging related brain diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. As we've always been told, if you don't use it, you will lose it. And as I am aging myself, I'm recognizing that some things that I used to do more fluently and agile and was quite agile at doing, I can't quite do those things because I stopped. And then it takes a little while to work it back up. But if you don't lose it, you will use it. Therefore, policies must be in place to ensure that AI is used to benefit students and their dependence on AI is not cultivated. When AI is used to mitigate the risk of skill decay through real time training rather than passive automatic responses, this avoids poor development of critical thinking and creative skills, which may result in job displacement and diminished problem solving capacity. Now, my summary. Technology has both beneficial and harmful uses in education. However, secondary males have been known to abuse technology to avoid homework during the week. AI can be useful for writing and similar tasks, but the risks are that dependence on AI can undermine problem solving and replace an individual's reliance. To avoid being displaced in employment due to skill decay, we must execute policies in education that will permit our students to thrive while actively using their own higher order skills and developing to reach their full potential, recognizing that AI is a tool and not something we should be dependent upon. Well, thank you for joining me today as we discussed AI and technology in education. Certainly, since technology plays such a huge role in our society and our world, certainly we could talk about various aspects of technology. But today we just covered good and bad issues related to technology and how we believe that it can best benefit our students in our schools. And I thank you for taking the time to be with me and to engage with me here at American Education and Policy. This is Dr. Leah Lester, and I thank you for joining me here on American Education and Policy. Until we meet again, may God richly bless you and your families. Bye now.